You know something, guys? I think a lot of people believe that life is just hard and that it's difficult and it's hard to make it. And I don't think that's the case. I think life is simple if you learn things from other people's mistakes. So to help you guys out, I'm going to share a couple of things that I wish I knew a lot sooner. Now, the first thing on the list, that is that you don't have to please everybody. I can't tell you how important this is. You have to do things that make you happy. You have to make decisions that are going to be the best for you, because other people, they can give you input, they can throw in their advice and their opinions, but at the end of the day, you have to be the one that makes that decision to see if what they're talking about is actually something that is going to benefit you in the long run. And that kind of leads me to tip number 2, and I kind of mentioned it before, but you have to do what makes you happy. Even if it's not understood by, say, your parents or your friends or your colleagues or whatever, you have to do things that make you happy, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You don't want to be old and gray and decrepit and have regrets of things that you didn't do because you were trying to do things to please other people. It's all about self-accountability. You have to make the decision. You have to have wants for yourself. You have to have a drive, a determination, and a goal that you pursue. The third thing I wish I knew a lot sooner is that being a victim is not worth it. It sucks. You could say that at one point in my life I was a victim. I lost both of my parents at a young age, and I misbehaved in school. I didn't try, I didn't do good, and I was kind of just mad all the time. But something probably along like 5th or 6th grade kind of just clicked, and I was like, okay, I need to start doing things a little bit better and a little bit differently. And so that's what I started doing. I realized that it wasn't worth it to be mad at the world for things that you can't control or that other people can't control. It's pretty simple. Whatever you have going on in your life, you just have to realize that there's always someone out there that has it way worse than you do. And so that's how I like to think of things. Whenever I'm feeling down about stuff, or I'm feeling like I'm not good enough or whatever, I just realize that I could always have it 10 times as worse. There's always someone out there who's struggling a lot worse than me or you. And so that's what keeps me going. And remember, no one can ditch the victim mindset but yourself. You have to make that choice. You have to want to be better and do better in life. It comes down to just you. The fourth thing on the list that I wish I learned a lot sooner is that cheap isn't all the way better. Even when it comes to like cars or clothes or whatever, I have a pile of clothes over there that are really cheap, that have kind of deteriorated, and I just look at them and it's kind of a big waste of money, even though I'll probably only spend a couple $100 on all of them, but it's still a waste of money. And it's still, I could have bought, nicer pants or a nicer shirt or a nicer suit than just spending money on cheap stuff. And I've got to say, when I've saved up a little bit more to buy nicer quality things, in the long run, I've been a lot happier. So that's just something to consider. Cheaper, in my opinion, is not better always, but it's not the worst thing in some scenarios. Sometimes you can find things that are really cheap that are still worth a lot of money, or that are really good quality. It's just about how you look and how you shop. Next up, the fifth thing I wish I knew a lot sooner in life is that it's okay to leave people behind. Now, I know this sounds harsh, and it kind of does, but in life, sometimes you do have to leave people behind because they're simply not growing at the rate that you are, and you want to be around people that are trying to get up to the top and not stay down at the bottom. It's very simple. You want to surround yourself with people that are growing instead of declining. It's very simple. And it's sad because some of these people, they could be your friends, your family, people you grew up with, but you have to differentiate yourself from them if they're not doing anything that is actively improving their lives. I know it's super hard, but not everyone can come along for the ride. The sixth thing on the list I wish I knew a lot sooner is that you have to start faster. Whether it's losing weight or starting college or starting a business, whatever you want to do, it is best to start right now. Especially if you're young, you have a lot of time. If you fail at something, it's not going to be as bad in the long run because you still have a lot of time to make those things up. But even when I look at my situation with this channel, I feel like if I would have started this in high school, I'd be 6 or 7 years into doing this, and I think I'd be a lot further along. But you can't go back in the past, and so I started when I started. But for you, I think if you want to do something, just start as soon as possible. Don't worry about all the details. When I started, I was worried about the camera, and I got a cheap camera, and that goes back to my other tip. Don't be cheap. Buy the best quality that you can get your hands on. Just save a little bit more money for stuff, but that's beside the point. I think you should start earlier. If you have a goal or a dream, the best time to start is right now. And then the final thing I wish I knew a lot sooner is that you don't need to compare yourself to other people. See, everyone's situation is different. You don't want to compare yourself to other people because they may have a certain advantage or a disadvantage. They may have something that puts them a little bit ahead of the curve that you don't know about or don't have. And so I feel like it's good to want to be successful like other people, but you don't want to directly compare the results that you're getting to other people, because in the long run, it's going to make you feel a little bit worse, and you have to be happy with yourself. So guys, those are 7 or 8 things, those are 7 or 8 things that I wish I knew a lot sooner. Again, I think the big thing is don't be a victim. Don't wait for other people to come and pick you up and help you. You got to do it yourself. You got to put in the work. If you want something, if you want to be better in life, don't just talk about it, you got to do it.